Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. What a show we have for you coming up here as we still talking about Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel's coming up and a lot of important matches heading towards Crown Jewel, including this, the King of the Ring tournament, as well as the Queen's Crown. We saw a lot of matches between Carmella and Liv Morgan as well. So we'll get to that too. Also, too, uh, a whole bunch of stuff. A chaotic contract signing between Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair battling for the SmackDown Women's title, where they will meet in a couple of weeks at Crown Jewel coming up, as well as many other possibilities as well, including the Rampage ring report as CM Punk, like he's the star of Rampage in a way. CM Punk will be in Rampage match when he takes on the up and coming Daniel Garcia. Could CM Punk beat Daniel Garcia, who's becoming the up and rising star? We'll talk about this, all and this and more, when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report as well as the Rampage Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Diggs here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe means caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here. So let's get to it. Let's get to the SmackDown Ring Report. As we talk about what's going on with SmackDown latest rounds, let's get to it. All right, coming up, as you see right here, the lovely, talented Sasha Banks standing on the announced position as this unique but different contract signing between these three women. Becky Lynch almost at the entrance way with her contract on the table, and Bianca Belair in the middle of the ring um, with the contract herself. You can see right there, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks standing on top of the announce table with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are. I mean, that's the most craziest scenario ever. And you see Becky Lynch, big time Bix, what she like to call herself, standing by the entranceway on the table, and Bianca Belair was in the middle of the ring. Didn't waste no time. Bianca Belair threw the chair outside the ring. Bianca Belair and Becky and them all start clashing, beating each other up. They couldn't wait to get their hands physical before the Crown Jewel pay-per-view event. As we said, the Crown Jewel pay-per-view event coming up soon. These three women will battle for the SmackDown Women's title. And now we learned that after Crown Jewel, when Crown Jewel's effect, Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair will no longer be members of the SmackDown roster. Even Sasha Banks will stay on SmackDown, but these three women really tore each other apart piece by piece. But then Bianca Belair got the upper hand, tried to pick up both women and try to do the KOD on both of them, and did it with ease. And she knocked Sasha, put Sasha into the table, and landed Becky into Sasha, causing a crash. Like they say, every time in contract signings, it always be something that kind of goes awry. But Bianca Belair standing tall over her two opponents that she'll meet at Crown Jewel, the SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks both down. But Bianca Belair, could she be leaving out Crown Jewel as SmackDown Women's Champion? How's that going to be play out if Bianca Belair is going to be official of the member of the Raw roster when Becky will be a Raw member as well? Sasha could be on the hope for SmackDown need to win the Women's Championship for that brand. So hopefully Sasha can get herself to get it together, and we'll see. Also, too, the semi the quarterfinals of the King of the Ring. Sami Zayn went against Rey Mysterio and won the King of the Ring matches. The kickoff for the SmackDown brand. Ray got drafted to Raw, and Sami still drafted to SmackDown. Sami will clothesline fist to Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio taking leaps and bounds to trying to get his ticket punched into the King of the Ring tournament. Rey Mysterio lost the match due to interference from his son Dominic. So a lot of family problems are still going on between Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Can they all get themselves together and see if they can, blend it together? Because, it's the difference between the King of the Ring and stuff, the opportunity of a lifetime to become the King of the Ring and win the prestigious King of the Ring crown. As we can see right now, the brackets are this. Sami Zayn advances. It was another King of the Ring match as well, as Finn Balor took on Cesaro. Cesaro and Finn Balor, two technical wrestlers right now, I believe they're considered in the WWE. Cesaro and Finn Balor. You can see Cesaro trying to take Finn Balor's head off. Finn Balor and Cesaro trying to use a playbook after a famous technical wrestler, Chris Benoit, who used to do the crossface. But Finn Balor won, and Finn Balor advances. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn will both meet next week on SmackDown for the King of the Ring tournament, which this is, like I said, a prestige tournament. And so this for the SmackDown side. But on the Raw side, you see the New Days, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods in two separate matches as well. Kofi Kingston with battle Jinder Mahal, and Xavier Woods with battle Ricochet. Xavier Woods wanted to be in the King of the Ring. Now he has a chance to be in the tournament. So we'll see next week who will move on through the tournament. Speaking of King of the Ring, we have another tournament, Queen's Crown. As you see right here, Zelina Vega took on Toni Storm in the first match of the Queen's Crown Cup. As you see right here, Toni Storm getting choked out by Zelina Vega. And a lot of people say Zelina Vega will win. I said Zelina Vega is going to win. And she did. She defeated Toni Storm with a flipping sunset flip. Got the win over Toni Storm. Next thing you know, Carmella, in her new mask, a new attire, went against rival Liv Morgan, tried to put the code of silence on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan tried to tuck on the mask, didn't do no effect. And you see right here, Liv Morgan with the insecure kick to Carmella, trying to take the mask off. Carmella used her instincts and kicked Liv Morgan. And then next thing you know, Carmella wins over Liv Morgan, and she did so in the deed. So a lot going on with these tournaments and stuff. So we know next week the Queen's Crown, Shayna Baszler, Doudrop are in the Queen's Crown. So it's going to get more deeper and deeper as time goes on. Also, too, Happy Corbin was in the ring. He did his talk show. He tried to do his talk show until Kevin Owens came out there and tried to end it. But Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin's assistant, tried to attack both Corbin and Mouse, but got beat up again. He got beat up once again, plumbled. So now Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss got an upper advantage over Kevin Owens. Look for this feud to end at the pre-show at Crown Jewel. Speaking of Crown Jewel implications, Universal Champion Roman Reigns celebrates 400 plus win as Universal Champion, and he tried to see what Paul Heyman's alliance his support was under, trying to not be befooled or bewildered. But Heyman acknowledged that he is with the Universal Champion, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and Heyman, I don't know when you think about Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is a true mastermind, and you don't know how Paul Heyman is going to. I don't know, is Paul Heyman playing Roman Reigns or Roman Reigns being sucked in? We just don't know. But we can tell you right now, Paul Heyman is with Roman Reigns, but he was bashing Brock Lesnar, but you wouldn't believe that. You thought 20-something years ago when Paul Heyman was with Brock Lesnar. It was all peaches and cream. Now it's a different story. Now Paul Heyman did turn on Brock before, but that was a couple of years ago, early in Brock's career. Now he reunited with Brock. So there's a lot going on with that. Also, too, we heard the official WWE.com announced that Seth Rollins will go against Edge one-on-one. Well, Seth Rollins called out Edge to see Edge was going to come. Edge delivered a spear. Edge and Seth Rollins battling each other out in the ring. And you can tell right there, Edge and Seth Rollins battling each other out until Edge made the match. Edge said that Seth Rollins wanted a match with him. Any man, anywhere. Now we know it's going to be hell in a cell between these two men to end their feud. I don't know if they're going to end it for the Raw brand or for the SmackDown brand. Look likely for the SmackDown brand. So, Seth Rollins and Edge will meet at Crown Jewel in a Hell in a Cell match. We know Edge has been in a Hell in a Cell match. Seth Rollins has been in a Hell in a Cell. Who remember that debacle a couple of years ago when Seth Rollins and The Fiend was in a Hell in a Cell match? Now it comes to fruition. Edge was in a Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker. Now these two men have a personal rivalry, a personal vendetta against each other, and they're going to bring it inside Hell in a Cell. One match that I'm looking forward to see. They had that tremendous match a couple of weeks ago at Madison Square Garden. As you see right here, Edge and Seth Rollins. Now you see Seth Rollins got the upper hand on Edge that time. So Edge and Seth Rollins can't stand each other, and they're going to fight at Crown Jewel one-on-one inside Hell in a Cell. So it's going to be Hell in a Cell. These mind games with Seth Rollins going to Edge's house. So it's going to end at Crown Jewel between these two men. So look for that happening real soon. Stuff. You can see right there, yeah. You can tell Edge wanted to take that chair, but in Hell in a Cell, he could use that chair with the league and try to choke Seth Rollins' mouth out. You never know. All right, that is the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's quickly move forward right quick to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, we had heard news that Reggie Parks, you may not know who Reggie Parks is, but Reggie Parks was the man that created some of those classic vintage WWE championships. If you know what I'm talking about, the Win Eagle Championship from the late 80s to the late 90s. He created that, the Intercontinental Championship that you see that once was the Intercontinental title. Reggie Parks passed away at the age of 87 years old. Reggie Parks, a legend among legends. He created, like I said, the vintage. He was a wrestler himself. He retired from the wrestling business and decided that he wanted to create championships, and he created the infamous Winged Eagle WWE Championship that many wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, champions, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Bret the Hitman Hart, you name it, he made the belts, even the Intercontinental Championship belt that he made. So we want to send our condolences to the family of Reggie Parks on this. So Reggie Parks, a living legend. Reggie Parks will live on through those championships. Those championships are still worn to this day. You know, many people are wearing those titles. So condolences to him and his family. Also, too, let's move forward to the AEW Rampage Ring Report. AEW Rampage kicked off with a bang with none other than the man himself, CM Punk. CM Punk. Is he like the face of AEW Rampage or trying to boost it up? Well, CM Punk was in action, and he took on the young up-and-coming star, Daniel Garcia, in a match. Daniel Garcia, who's trying to make a name for himself, on CM Punk's expense. Garcia tried to go after Punk. Punk capitalized on Garcia. Punk did a pile driver, and Garcia was trying to escape. CM Punk. You see right here, CM Punk tried to use the Anaconda Vice, and used it for his vices and beat the yuppie upcoming star Daniel Garcia. I see a bright future for Daniel Garcia. CM Punk. I mean, he's been in rivalries, but I don't know who he wants to feud with. They slowly trying to build CM Punk to go for the world championship down the road. Heyman Adam Page returned, so there's a lot of stars coming back that could be top contenders. Also, too, the World Tag Team Championships were on the line as the Lucha Brothers, as you see right, the Lucha Brothers took on the #1 contenders, the Acclaim, for the World Tag Team titles. The Acclaim tried to you see Penta try to kick Max Caster in his stomach, try to kick him out, and then try to use that double kick Penta and Phoenix. But then Anthony Bowens tried to give Strike back, but Penta pinned him with that little move they got. Pinned both of them victory for the Lucha Brothers, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, pick up a win on their victory. Also, too, a storm is brewing. I mean, a storm is brewing. It's Jade Cargill, the woman that wants to be TBS champion, and she said that the TBS acronym stands for TBS, meaning that show, where we get what she said. But Jade was in the ring. Jade dominated against some job. I forgot her name. Jade used that move. Jade, one thing about it, like Jade Cargill, she tough, but she's sweet. She's a cool chick to be around and to get to know and hang out with. Jade Cargill mean business, and she means business in the right way with her her wrestling acronym. She's getting better. I can say that she's getting better with time at time. So look for Jade Cargill to be a top contender for the TBS championship. I mean, it's good. They got additional secondary women's title, but it's sort of like, I get it, but at the same time, what about other focus on other women? But you know, hey, but Jade picks up the win. Jade, look and see, Jade does this with ease. So look for Jade to wrestle Thunder Rosa for the TBS title down the road. Also, too, was the main event. The main event was for the FTW championship, as champion Ricky Starks defended his championship against the Machine, Brian Cage. Brian Cage should be he's a big star, but they're building him. Cage has the a lot of people saying Cage would be the first star to leave and go to WWE. I couldn't blame WWE, but WWE wouldn't know what to do with him. But hey, Cage went against Starks in this street fight, Philly street fight. And you see, no holds barred, anything goes. You see Ricky Starks trying to choke Cage out. Had the help of Hook. You see Starks trying to upset that Cage kicked out. Had the help of Hook, Powerhouse Hobbs, and all them. You see Cage giving the #1. That he's #1. That Cage is #1 in his book. Ricky Starks used the finisher, the shampoo boom, to hit him, then hit him with the belt. Ricky Starks won the match, and now Ricky Starks, winner, retains his FTW championship in a Philadelphia street fight with Taz on commentary with the help of Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs. So Ricky Starks trying to put his name. If I was Cage, you need to team up with CM Punk to go after go after them. That makes sense. 2-on-2, you got issues with Powerhouse Hobbs. Punk had issues, but little that we know, we don't know. But that's what I do. Since they beating him up, it would have been easy for CM Punk to come out there. They could have made alliance Cage and CM Punk to take on the team of Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Or Hook make his debut and they add another person. You never know. But hopefully they're thinking about that. Tony Khan, I gave you an idea. All right. That does it for the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report and the AEW Rampage Ring Report. So we'll see you next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.